Imagine staring into the eyes of people who shaped the world, not through dusty old paintings or worn-out statues, but with faces brought vividly to life through the magic of AI. From mysterious pharaohs and controversial emperors to forgotten queens and shadowy power brokers, these historical figures have long lived behind layers of myth and art. But today, we peel back those layers. In this video, we use AI to transform ancient portraits into lifelike faces, combining powerful visuals with the true stories behind them. History just got personal. Let's bring the past to life. Alexei Bobrinsky. In the faded portrait, Alexei Bobrinsky is seen in noble Russian attire, standing tall with a composed expression and a military posture. His coat, richly detailed with golden embroidery, hints at aristocratic status. As the illegitimate son of Empress Catherine the Great, Alexei lived a life in the shadow of royal scandal and imperial grandeur. Despite his controversial origins, he founded the influential Bobrinsky noble family and contributed significantly to the Russian economy, especially in sugar production and industrial development. Thanks to AI, we now witness Alexei as a sharp-featured man with light brown hair and intelligent eyes. His high cheekbones and confident jawline reflect both royal blood and entrepreneurial ambition, a man torn between his hidden birthright and the legacy he managed to carve out on his own. Mary of Burgundy. The medieval painting of Mary of Burgundy captures her seated in formal attire, adorned in a dark velvet gown with a jewel-encrusted headdress. She appears regal yet distant, her pale face hinting at fragility. As the only child of Charles the Bold, Duke of Burgundy, Mary inherited vast territories across Europe. Her marriage to Maximilian of Austria helped shape European politics and laid the foundation for Habsburg dominance. The AI-rendered version of Mary shows a youthful woman with soft features, chestnut brown hair, and thoughtful eyes. The digital enhancement brings out the intensity of her gaze, suggesting not just a noble woman, but a ruler who bore the immense weight of dynastic strategy at a very young age. Johannes Gutenberg. Johannes Gutenberg, a 15th century German inventor, revolutionized communication with the invention of the movable type printing press. Around 1455, he printed the Gutenberg Bible, making books more accessible and affordable for the first time in Europe. This innovation sparked an intellectual revolution, fueling the Renaissance, the Reformation, and the scientific revolution. Gutenberg's invention empowered people to learn, think, and challenge authority in ways never before possible. His printing press stands as one of the most transformative creations in human history, and his influence can be seen in every printed word we read today. Christiaan Huygens. Christiaan Huygens, a brilliant 17th century Dutch scientist, made vital contributions to astronomy, physics, and mathematics. He discovered Saturn's rings and one of its moons, Titan, using a telescope of his design. Huygens also developed the first accurate pendulum clock, greatly improving timekeeping. In optics, he proposed the wave theory of light, laying the groundwork for future discoveries in physics. His sharp mind and relentless curiosity made him a true polymath of the scientific revolution. Huygens's work helped shape the precision and logic that define modern science and astronomical observation. Joseph Cinque. The old engraving of Joseph Cinque shows a strong African man standing in chains, his eyes burning with defiance. Captured and sold into slavery in the early 19th century, Cinque led the historic revolt aboard the Spanish slave ship La Amistad. His leadership and eventual court case in the United States became a powerful symbol in the fight against slavery. Now brought to life through AI, Cinque appears with tightly coiled hair, deep brown skin, and a fierce, unyielding expression. His new image radiates dignity and strength, a face that tells a story of resistance, survival, and the fight for justice against impossible odds. Sejong the Great. The old scroll painting of Sejong the Great presents him in royal Korean robes, seated on a throne with traditional scholarly decor in the background. As the fourth king of the Joseon dynasty, Sejong is best remembered for his creation of Hangul, the Korean alphabet, which revolutionized literacy in Korea. He was also a patron of science, music, and technology. The AI portrait now shows a wise, calm man with a broad face, gentle eyes, and a neatly groomed beard. His appearance is both humble and kingly, fitting for a ruler who believed in serving his people through education and innovation rather than fear. This image transforms him from a historical legend to a leader you feel you could speak with. Ashoka. In ancient stone carvings and coins, Ashoka is often depicted symbolically rather than realistically through lions, chakras, or inscriptions. As emperor of the Maurya dynasty in ancient India, Ashoka began his reign as a fierce conqueror. But after the bloody Kalinga War, he embraced Buddhism and devoted his life to nonviolence, compassion, and governance through Dharma. AI reconstruction offers a dignified and thoughtful face, bronzed skin, deep-set eyes, and a calm demeanor. This new version of Ashoka suggests the duality of his life, both the warrior and the monk. His expression carries the gravity of someone who once held immense power and chose to lay down the sword for the sake of peace. William Shakespeare. The classic black and white engraving of William Shakespeare with his receding hairline and ruffled collar is one of the most recognized images in the world. But it's also idealized and vague. Shakespeare, the legendary playwright of Elizabethan England, wrote timeless works like Hamlet, Macbeth, and Romeo and Juliet, yet very little is truly known about his appearance or life. AI imagery now reimagines Shakespeare with more human detail, his skin lightly weathered, dark eyes filled with creative fire, and a slight smirk suggesting wit and curiosity. This version of the bard feels real and relatable, as if he just stepped out of a London theater, ink-stained hands and all, ready to shape the next masterpiece. Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. In the original 18th century portraits, Mozart appears as a young composer in formal court dress, powdered wig in place, and a reserved expression. Known for his unmatched musical genius, Mozart composed over 600 works, from symphonies and operas to chamber music, many while still in his 20s. His life, though brilliant, was brief and marked by financial struggles and poor health. The AI transformation breathes vibrancy into his image, a youthful man with sharp blue eyes, curly blonde hair, and a passion that flickers just beneath the surface. His smile is subtle but present, like someone constantly humming a melody in his mind. This is not just the genius of classical music, but a man who lived for his art and died too soon. Niccolo Machiavelli. In the aged woodcut image, Niccolo Machiavelli is shown seated with a sharp, calculating gaze, dressed in the formal black robe of a Renaissance scholar. His expression is unreadable, as if he's constantly observing and judging. Born in Florence during a time of intense political instability, Machiavelli was a diplomat, philosopher, and historian whose most famous work, The Prince, became synonymous with cunning statecraft and realpolitik. The AI-enhanced version of Machiavelli presents a lean man in his early 40s with olive-toned skin, a slightly furrowed brow, and piercing dark eyes. His face hints at intelligence mixed with skepticism, perfectly capturing a man who wrote about power not as it should be, but as it truly is. Akhenaten. On the crumbling wall reliefs of ancient Amarna, Akhenaten is often depicted with an elongated face, wide hips, and almost androgynous features, drastically different from other pharaohs. Akhenaten was a revolutionary ruler of ancient Egypt who broke away from centuries of religious tradition to worship a single deity, the sun disk Aten. His reign brought both cultural upheaval and artistic transformation. AI now reconstructs Akhenaten into a more lifelike image, his skin a rich bronze, eyes almond-shaped and deeply reflective, his facial structure narrow but balanced. This modern rendering still honors his unconventional appearance, but humanizes him, making the once enigmatic king look like someone with profound spiritual conviction and philosophical depth. Khurshid Pasha. In the dim oil painting from the Ottoman archives, Khurshid Pasha appears adorned in traditional Ottoman attire, his turban meticulously folded and his gaze stern. As an Ottoman general and statesman in the early 19th century, Khurshid Pasha was known for his military campaigns in the Balkans and his critical role during the Greek War of Independence. His legacy is one of discipline, loyalty to the Sultan, and unyielding command. The AI recreation brings him into sharp detail, a man in his 50s with a thick beard, strong nose, and weathered complexion. His eyes show the burden of command and decades of navigating the complicated politics of an empire that stretched across 3 continents. Justinian versed. The mosaic of Justinian I in the Basilica of San Vitale shows him standing tall among his court with a golden halo behind his head, wearing imperial purple and holding a ceremonial bowl. Justinian was not just a Byzantine emperor, he was an architect of empire, law, and religion. His most enduring legacy is the Corpus Juris Civilis, the legal foundation that influenced much of European law. In the AI-powered portrait, Justinian emerges with olive skin, curly dark hair, and strong brows. His eyes carry a vision of order and ambition. He is no longer just a shimmering figure in a church mosaic. He now feels like a real ruler who rebuilt a shrinking empire into a symbol of eternal Rome. Anne Catherine of Brandenburg. The portrait of Anne Catherine of Brandenburg, faded and delicate, shows her in the stiff, ruffled collar and embroidered gown of a 16th century noblewoman. She became Queen of Denmark and Norway through marriage to King Christian IV. While she played a traditional royal consort's role, her presence reinforced alliances between powerful European families. The AI version paints a youthful yet composed woman with blonde hair coiled neatly under a pearl headdress and blue eyes that suggest both dignity and restraint. Her image now reflects not just royal elegance but the quiet strength of women who influenced court politics behind the scenes. The Palmyrene Funerary Relief. Unlike the others, this figure has no name. The Palmyrene Funerary Relief depicts a noblewoman from ancient Palmyra, an oasis city in present-day Syria that flourished during Roman times. The limestone sculpture shows her wearing a richly folded veil and multiple necklaces, her hand raised in a traditional gesture of honor or farewell. It's both personal and symbolic. With the help of AI, this anonymous figure gains a modern face. Her features are sculpted yet soft, with olive skin, dark eyes, and a serene expression. Though we don't know her story, the new image evokes the mystery and pride of a once prosperous civilization lost to time and sand. Platon Zubov. In the original Russian painting, Platon Zubov looks more like a romantic figure than a politician, with a powdered wig, elegant coat, and a delicate, almost dreamy expression. As the last favorite of Empress Catherine the Great, Zubov rose from obscurity to become one of the most powerful men in Russia during the late 18th century, young, ambitious, and surrounded by envy. AI reimagines him as a charming nobleman with finely shaped features, clear skin, and soft brown hair. There's a hint of charm in his smile, but also ambition in his gaze. A man who understood the value of influence and seized his moment in a glittering yet volatile court. From the cold, calculating gaze of Machiavelli to the mysterious beauty of a Palmyrene noblewoman, history has never felt this personal. These aren't just names in books anymore. They're real faces, real stories, and living echoes of the past. But now we want to hear from you. Which transformation surprised you the most? Whose AI recreation looked closest to what you imagined? And which historical figure should we bring to life next? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more journeys through history reimagined.